rarely recognize the future when it's headed straight for us, and even when we see it coming, we really tend to only understand it in hindsight. If you remember the time before computers, you probably thought they were cool, but you didn't see spreadsheets and email and a world where auto mechanics would need them to do their job. Likewise with smartphones, you knew they were going to be cool. You didn't realize they were going to be the center of your universe. There's a similar tectonic shift about to arrive. 3D printing is about to change everything again. Before I talk about that future, let's talk about the present. 3D printers build up objects out of layers. Slices of material are fused together to create the whole object. In home printers, this tends to be done with melted plastic, but there are 3D printers that fuse metal using frickin' laser beams. There are 3D printers that use wax, resin, and even chocolate. There are also things like CNC milling, where parts are cut out of solid materials using some sort of computer-controlled tool. Whatever the tool, the method, the end result is some sort of usable object. Usable for what? Well, anything. The top 20 most popular designs right now include toys and measuring cups and clocks and lamps, drones, all sorts of things. Now, this may sound like stuff you can get at Target, and we'll get to that in a minute, but there's more to 3D printing than plastic crap. Businesses use 3D printers to build and rapidly iterate on prototypes, saving money and time. Custom fitted, personalized prosthetics are 3D printed for people who in the past were limited to off-the-shelf options at best. In Barcelona, they're printing a bridge with a steel 3D printer. And the International Space Station has a 3D printer that allows them to build replacement parts that formerly had to be created on the ground and blasted into space, and now arrive as an email attachment. I could go on, but let's get to the future. How does this change the world? Well, I think the space station and prosthetic examples are best. In the case of the space station, something that used to have to travel a great distance is created locally on demand. In the case of prosthetics, something very personalized, very customized, can be created in a cost-effective way. We live in the world of the big box retailer. Small local businesses have been in decline for decades because of economies of scale. Things are cheaper if you make a lot of them, and cheaper still if you can commit to buying a lot of them. Space is also an issue. Size matters in stores because a bigger store can have a bigger inventory. Price and availability has driven most of us into the arms of the big boxes. But 3D printing turns this all on its head. When things are made on demand, you don't have inventory. You don't have the advantage of buying in bulk. And when things are made on demand, extra space is just extra rent with no return on investment. I like that one. 3D printing can also connect artisans with customers around the world. Traditionally, you have to have manufacturing, you have to have shipping, you have to have all these parts and pieces. With 3D printing, something can be designed and delivered directly to the customer, either to their home or to a local store. Now, I like a dark dystopian future. I did lead with William Gibson. And there are dangers in the 3D future. First up, there's intellectual property. Disney is notorious for chasing down anyone who violates their IP. And their lobbying on behalf of the mouse has definitely changed copyright law for the worst. They are not going to be thrilled with people printing princesses and not paying them royalties. Then there's actual danger. 3D working printed guns are a thing. And in the past, we could just block access to physical items. Now you're blocking information, and you can't stop the signal, Mal. Because of this sort of thing, we're going to see a lot of activity to try to limit what 3D printers can do, make rules about what can and cannot be printed. I think this will look a lot like the launch of digital music. Something physical, CDs, became digital, and the entrenched powers fought long and hard to stop it from coming. But then is now, or now is then, the future will win. And what's that future look like? What's the killer app? I'm not sure. We've never lived in a time where people could have whatever they wanted manufactured customly at a reasonable price. I think at first it'll be mundane. Sunglasses, cell phone cases, flatware. But as designers get more imaginative to bring in customers and buyers get more interested, it will change and be interesting. Ahead of us, we have printers that can print circuits, chemicals, and even biological materials like skin. But the future is here now, and it's starting to get distributed. Enjoy your 3D future.